We're gonna go to the mall. Scariest place known to man. Some say it's cursed. Some say it steals your wallet. Some say your wallet was always there. The mall, coming soon to suburbia near you. Rated W for women. Hey, what's up, everybody? Flashwing here. Probably notice that you can actually hear the sound of my voice right now, which is fantastic. The sound of my voice, I mean. Using an external microphone, recording through the iPhone, GoPro Hero HD. So we're looking pretty good. Hopefully the audio turns out pretty decently. I got a halfway okay condenser microphone. So overall, I mean, it should be an okay setup for the purposes of what I'm doing. So I want to take the opportunity here to talk about something that's a little bit more personal. So, wow, that smells like skunk. Somebody got skunked. So I want to talk about something that's a little bit more personal. I want to talk about ruining friendships over motorcycles, which sounds like a pretty ridiculous thing. But I'm curious if any of you have had any experiences like this. I wanted to talk about this not only because I found it was a kind of a unique topic, but more importantly, because it's a little bit personal to me. So you have to get in the Wayback Machine about a year when a good friend of mine, who I respect greatly, acquired a Yamaha R1. It was the first time I'd ever seen one before, especially up close. And I have to admit that it's a pretty intimidating machine, especially from somebody who didn't have any formal riding experience. So about the time that I saw the R1, I had already had my motorcycle endorsement, but I was not actively riding. But I was riding my V-Star Cruiser, and so I mean my understanding of riding motorcycles was very, very limited. It was very, very scary. And a friend of mine who had acquired his R1, I didn't know anything about his previous riding experience, other than I know that it was on bikes that were even smaller than a 250, maybe a 50cc or 100cc bike, and it was, decades prior to him acquiring the R1. I was worried. I'm not the kind of individual to get in everybody's business of my friends. I have friends that have a lot of bad habits, maybe even lifestyles that I don't necessarily agree with, but they are my friends, and I respect their decision to live their life how they want to live it, and I might express my opinion about it. But that's pretty much as far as it goes. If they are friends of mine, obviously I've chosen to be friends with them, and so in some cases, I choose to accept them who they are. But this is a situation where, reading the statistics about the R1 on paper, it's incredibly intimidating. You're talking a sub 3 second 0 to 60, 185 miles an hour limited. You're talking about a serious machine. And of course, I knew for a long time that he was going to be getting this R1. It had been a project in the works for a couple of years. But seeing it made it real. Seeing it made it really intimidating, and I was incredibly worried. I was incredibly worried that my friend was going to hurt himself, not because he was going to be reckless or stupid, but just making a mistake. And on a 1000, the potential for injury, making mistakes, mistakes with throttle control, mistakes with brake control, putting yourself in the wrong part of the road, the mistakes are not nearly as forgiving as smaller bikes, because the bike, it's heavier, has more power, has more braking, all of that stuff. And I was genuinely worried. And it just so happened, and I'm the kind of individual where I don't like to let things linger. I come by in anxiety and worrying naturally. And so I prefer to take care of problems and tackle problems right away. I don't like to wait. I don't like to put things off. And so the circumstances were such that I wanted to talk to my friend privately. I had no interest in embarrassing him. So, stoplight. And as soon as I set my feet down. So the problem was, I was genuinely concerned. I didn't want to let things go. And the situation was such that I wasn't going to have an opportunity at this particular point in time for my friend and I to have a one-on-one conversation. And it just so happened that that I was talking with his fiance at the time, and I voiced my concerns to her. And my purpose wasn't to worry her, it was more or less just to get it off my chest with the intentions of talking to my friend later on. But I never got that opportunity. It was not that my friend couldn't ride a 1000, but that just when you're first getting on a legit motorcycle, and when I say legit, I mean a bike that's capable of highway speeds, a bike that isn't like a small 30cc scooter where you have to really wonder where you're going to be able to take this thing. So his first serious motorcycle, and it's going to be a 1000, and of course I heard all the horror stories, that 1000s will kill you, that they're dangerous, that they're pocket rockets, that I heard all of that, and I was genuinely concerned. I expressed my concern probably to the wrong person, and I only say the wrong person is because it wasn't his fiance that was involved, it was my friend. So the circumstances be that the friendship was pretty much dissolved. A professional relationship was also pretty much dissolved in the process. And I never got a chance to talk to my friend about it. He never wanted to hear my side of the story. He was just mad at me. And to a certain extent, he had a right to be mad at me. I don't like it when people tell me how to ride. Just the few short months that I've owned the R1, it's quelled a lot of my fears. So here's kind of the formal apology, if he was ever to see it. I am sorry, genuinely sorry, for expressing my concern in a manner that was obviously taken disrespectfully. There was no disrespect intended. I was worried, and quite frankly, I wasn't about to stand by and say nothing and then let something happen and feel like I was in the position where I could have said something that might have otherwise changed the situation. And it wasn't a case of don't ever get a 1000 because you'll never be good enough to ride it, so therefore you might as well just quit now. It was maybe a 1000 isn't the best bike right now. Maybe to sell the bike, maybe to get an R6, maybe get something a little bit smaller that gives you a little bit more of a window of opportunity to recover from mistakes. And you know, get the 1,000 later. Don't do it right now. So it's not a can't, it's just a not right now. That being said, had I known that it was going to result in the destruction of a friendship, I might have waited. I might have tried a different way. I might not have been so anxious to tell somebody about it. You know, that I just blurted it out to the closest associated person. And I've had numerous opportunities with this individual in public, you know, and of course I could have confronted them there, but being respectful, I wasn't about to embarrass them in front of people that we know. Sorry, you stay right there. I wasn't about to publicly embarrass him over something that is kind of a done deal at this point. I mean, he's been riding the bike now for over a year. And the situation actually kind of inspired me to get a 1,000. So the situation ended up being a positive for me. And it's a shame because, you know, this is a really good friend of mine. We share a lot of similar beliefs. We have similar hobbies. You know, the kind of person that you talk to for hours on end about all sorts of different stuff. So, you know, I'm absolutely interested in trying to salvage the friendship. I had no intentions on ruining the friendship. I didn't have any intention on disrespecting anybody. So I'm curious, you know, how many of you out there have had situations where maybe you've had friendships ruined over motorcycles. Maybe you've had a friendship ruined because you bought a motorcycle. Somebody who told you, sorry, I can't be your friend anymore because you're on a raging death machine, which will surely scatter your bloodied carcass all over the highway. I mean, how many times have we heard that? And it is dangerous. There's no doubt about it. I mean, 1,000 is a serious machine, no doubt about it. But they have been subdued. And I mean, anybody that watches this video should understand that they have to be treated with the utmost respect. You know, that I satisfy the bike's needs, not the other way around, because the moment that I think that I'm in control is the moment that the bike reminds me who's boss. So that's it, friends. You ever had a friendship ruined over a motorcycle? I certainly have. I'm sorry it happened. So from here on out, we're going to be doing a little highway test of the audio. No idea if it's going to turn out, so if not, so long, and we'll see you next time.